Introduction. A new edition of Open Mind, Open Heart, to mark the 20th anniversary of its publication in 1986, provides an opportunity to update parts of the book on the basis of the experience we've gained in these 20 years. I want to particularly thank Father Carl Larico for his great help in editing this new edition. Part 1 lays out the method of centering prayer and its immediate conceptual background. Part 2 offers spiritual, historical, and theological reflections designed to provide a broader context for the method. Throughout the book, questions frequently asked by practitioners of centering prayer are set in italic type. For the sake of clarity, it seems best to reserve the term centering prayer for the specific method described in this book of awakening to the gift of contemplation, and to reserve the term contemplative prayer for its full development under the direct inspiration of the Spirit. The fundamental purpose of centering prayer and contemplative outreach, the spiritual network that supports it, is to contribute to bringing the knowledge and experience of God's love into the general consciousness of the human family. Contemplative prayer is a process of interior transformation, a conversion initiated by God and leading, if we consent, to divine union. One's way of seeing reality changes in this process. A restructuring of consciousness takes place, which empowers one to perceive, relate, and respond to everyday life with increasing sensitivity to the divine presence in, through, and beyond everything that happens. According to Christian tradition, contemplation is a pure gift of God. To refer to it as pure gift, however, needs to be nuanced lest we give the impression that it is out of reach and unattainable except for people in cloisters, hermits, or those who lead very austere lives. On the contrary, contemplation is a fundamental constituent of human nature, and hence available to every human being. It is accessed by letting go of our own idea of ourselves, turning our will over to God, and resting in the divine indwelling that is already present within us and waiting to reveal itself to us. Regular periods of silence and solitude can dispose us to extend our consent to God's presence to every moment of our waking lives, and thus reduce the influences of the false self, the old man of St. Paul, which retards the transforming process of grace. The false self is the idealized image of ourselves developed from early childhood to cope with emotional trauma due to the frustration of our instinctual needs for survival/security, affection/esteem, and power/control. The false self also seeks happiness through identification with a particular group from whom it can find acceptance and thus build feelings of self-worth. On the social level, it gives rise to violence, war, and institutional injustice. Centering prayer is a movement of divine love designed to renew the Christian contemplative tradition. It consists of consenting to the call of the Holy Spirit, to consent to God's presence and action within. It is based on the format for the profound form of prayer that Jesus suggests in Matthew chapter 6, verse 6. If you want to pray, enter your inner room, close the door, and pray to your Father in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you. Notice the cascading movement in this text into ever deeper states of silence. 1. Leaving behind external tumult, the environment we may be in, and the concerns of the moment by entering our inner room, the spiritual level of our being, the level of intuition and the spiritual will. 2. Closing the door, that is, shutting out and turning off the interior conversation we normally have with ourselves all day long as we judge, evaluate, and react to people and events entering and leaving our lives. 3. Praying in secret.